I have a confession to make. I have not accomplished a single goal that I set to accomplish in 2024. And yet, still, it was one of the best years of my entire life. I managed to travel a lot. I managed to accomplish financial goals that I wanted to for years. And that is because I think there's actually something way more important than goals itself. And that is habits. And I know that when I say this word, you probably think of meditation, journaling, running 1,000 miles and drinking 10 gallons of water per day. But these are not these types of habits. These are habits that outlast the morning routine. These are habits that will be there with you forever. And oh my goodness, isn't that quite pretty? Habits that you probably have not ever heard of. Habit number 1, treat airports like bus stations. I mean, first of all, look at this. I'm currently in Istanbul here, and I have a question to ask you guys. If your biggest hero, life hero, business hero, any hero of all sorts, were giving a talk in a town 2 or 3 hours away from you, would you take a bus to go and meet him? If you said no, you're crazy. If you said yes, wouldn't you take a 3-hour plane ride to do the exact same thing? Often we think that it's too expensive, that we won't be able to afford it. And of course, there is a reasonable limit to this. But I have taken 10 international trips this year, and it's gonna be 11 by the end of 2024. And I'm here visiting my best friend just because I think that it's best to engage and invest into memories and relationships. There is nothing more important in life than these two things, memories and relationships. So why do so many people spend thousands of dollars per year on alcohol, food, clothing and all that kind of stuff, new iPhones every year? And you're telling me that you cannot afford to go visit your best friend who's a couple of hours away by plane? Come on, trust me, doing this is probably the best thing that I've done this entire year. And it's why this year has been so dang amazing so far. Benjamin Franklin once said, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. And sometimes we feel like our day-to-day lives are not interesting enough to write about, but actually that is not the case. And that is what habit number 2 helped me realize: homework for life. This is taken from Matthew Dix's playbook, Story Worthy. I highly recommend you read it. Every single day for the last year, I was writing down something that is story worthy, a moment of transformation, a learning that I've learned from the day. And that has led to so much creativity, but also so much appreciation for day-to-day life, for small daily stories that happen to all of us. Why not take advantage of that? And then I do a little... Oh, my friend! Hello! Hello, my friend, hello! And every day I write down a little story in the... YouTube?
Yes.
YouTube.
What's your name?
You have your phone? This is me.
Edwin. Oh, kamu teh Bandung? Kamu teh Bandung?
Subscribe. Nice to meet you too. Once I started doing that, writing down every day a little tiny story from my life, and then sometimes turning it into a newsletter post or maybe even a video, that's when I started to realize that everyday life and every single day of my life has something to it, something worth sharing, something worth writing about. Habit number 3, it's not actually too much of a habit, but it's subscribing to some sort of an audiobook service. I'm not going to be endorsing anyone specifically, but oh goodness gracious, that has been probably one of the best investments I have made in a long time. I am right now consuming books like McNuggets, basically, and it really does change the game in terms of, education and how much you're able to learn in the meantime. While you're doing the dishes, while you're doing the laundry, while you're commuting. I have listened to probably like 10 books, 12 books this year, and that's on top of what I've read in normal format, and it is genuinely changing my life. Habit number 3 or 4, I don't remember, whatever it is saying yes. And that is again quite controversial advice, especially saying yes to friends, to family, and to people who are spontaneously asking you to go and do something with them. That's exactly the philosophy that I decided to have this year. And again, it led to so many incredible memories, so many great times that I now can look back to. Obviously, it's important to focus and put your head down and do the work that needs to be done. But at the end of the day, think of what your 100-year-old self will remember. All the hours that you were working on something, most of the time not probably even that meaningful, or you know, the time that you were riding the Porsche Taycan with your best friend absolutely spontaneously. I guess the answer is pretty simple. We are currently here on the Adelaide Island, and before I tell you the 5th habit, I just wanted to shout this place out. It has got to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. It feels like the Caribbean, but just like so much better. Not that I've ever been, but it's so stunning. Well, habit number 5. Habit number 5, guys, is stealing back the minutes. Think how many minutes we lose to things we have no control over in our day-to-day life. You know, standing in queues, watching YouTube ads, waiting in between Zoom meetings for the people who are late. That is time you can actually steal back. You can make something useful with that time. You can write a couple of sentences, read one chapter of a book, maybe a little bit less, maybe one page, but that's still better than nothing. You can call your mom, you can text message a friend you've not seen in a long time. You can stare up a nice flower or listen to a song. Anything really that just brings you value into your life. So often we dismiss these minutes. We think these are not good enough. So often we think that we need the perfect setup in order to make something that's meaningful. Hans Zimmer on the AirPods, a flat white, a beautiful coffee shop, and our MacBooks. But that's not the case. You don't even need a laptop. You just need some pen and paper, maybe your phone, and that's it. That's really it. So yeah, wow. I cannot believe the place that I'm in right now, currently, genuinely.